Okay, so it's October 1st, and this is going to be our first of our updates that we're going to send through with our emails to all our Liberal supporters out there. And thank you very much for your support. We all appreciate it. We've got a huge battle between now and November next year, and some don't like reading just the emails, so we're encouraging you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come on board and help us to get above that 100 subscribers mark so we can personalise our page and market it easier. It's been a big week. Many of you have seen the protests that have been going on around town. And our message is quite simple on this, that we really have a problem with some of the issues around what's happening with some of the protesters who have overtaken what was genuine protests. And we understand the Victoria Police are in a difficult position because they don't want to be out there implementing health orders from the Victorian government. They want to be back out fighting crime and protecting you, which is what their job is to do. However, we've seen some reports that were quite disturbing, and we've spoken to the Chief Commissioner, and we encourage people, if they've got genuine complaints around the actions of the Victoria Police, they're a victim or they've directly seen it, that we encourage you to go forward and make a complaint. And we're pleased to see that the Victoria Police are investigating some of their own members in relation to some of the incidents have happened, and that'll be overseen by IBAC as well. But I must say, I stand with the Victoria Police. They're an amazing organisation. I am biased because I was one, but I've been on the front line and I've seen what happens sometimes on those front lines, and you don't always get the full image of what happens to that when you see it on YouTube. This week, the crime stats have come out here in Victoria, and we've had some pretty big concerns, particularly around family violence. We've had nearly a 9% increase in family violence incidents and a 38% increase in stalking. This is a real concern here in Victoria. When you're starting to talk about people who are locked up, record lockdowns around the world, and the pressures from financial pressures of being out of work, you're seeing pressures of what's going to happen with their business. Now the construction industry's shut. We've seen so many other people who are stressed out at home, and we're seeing the impact on that, not just on a husband and wife circumstances, but it's also the impact on the kids who are starting to see what's happening between mum and dad, and that's a real problem that we need to address. And that means getting police back to what they're doing rather than on the border or rather than working between metro and regional areas. The construction industry will be campaigning. We want to see the construction industry back open again. Overall, in the areas around here, the construction industry has been very, very good in the way they operate in a COVID-safe manner. And we want to make sure that they do remain in that position and keep the option to keep trading, because at the end of the day, it creates so many jobs. It's 320,000 jobs have been impacted because of a knee-jerk reaction from Daniel Andrews from a few unionised sites in the city. And that's disappointing. You ask the local businesses around here and the local builders, they're really disappointed. Our health system. Do you all remember? Flatten the curve. We loved the saying, didn't we? Flatten the curve. Let's get the hospital system prepared. Then Daniel Andrews got on his high horse, wanted to make himself look like a hero, and came out and said, I'm going to give $1.3 billion for ICU beds here in Victoria. And today, 15 months later, those beds haven't been delivered. And now we've got 1,500 cases yesterday, 1,100, nearly 1,200 today. We've got people going into the hospitals, and Daniel Andrews saying, we've got to prepare our whole system. Now, come on, we should have had it prepared. Where'd that 1.3 billion go? We need to make sure that our health system is protected, but also government has to eventually take responsibility after 18 of 22 years in government for what systems are happening within the health services now. Pretty disappointing. I'm continuing my Brad's Pay giveaway. This morning we gave away 20 coffees down in Beaconsfield. We've continued to do that, and we've done things like the Father's Day hampers to give away, and we've got plenty more coming, and our grand final one was really, really popular with the 12 beers as well as some barbecue items. Sports clubs, we want to get them back in action. We've put out a plan to make sure they survive as well, which is actually putting money towards the clubs that are struggling and are going to lose money. We want to make sure those clubs have got money and that they can survive going forward. And we need to have a roadmap that's got hope, because Daniel Andrews keeps changing the plans, he keeps changing the goalposts, and he keeps changing the rules. All Victorians want is a plan like New South Wales, where you can look forward, you can see what date you're going to open, and people start to believe what's going to happen, that they can get back to normal. That's really important. If you keep changing it, people get more frustrated, more confused, and you're going to see the impact of what we're seeing with protests because of an incompetent government who can't give you a plan to get out. We should actually be following New South Wales' lead, where they're going up to the 1st of December and actually saying they're all open. Quick campaign going from the UFU, United Firefighters Union management. It's not all firefighters. This isn't about career firefighters. This is a small group within the United Firefighters Union who are trying to disrespect the CFA. We've got links in this email about that as well. So please have a look, because it's a disgusting campaign to divide the CFA from the FRV. We need to stand by our volunteers, but at the same time, we need our career firefighters to work together, because that's going to give you the best protection, because at the end of the day, it's about community safety for you at home. And finally, we're going to talk about our great giveaway, which is our raffle. So please, if you want to get on board and help us out with our raffle or help out with letters, etc., let us know. But we've got a raffle to give away thanks to Jeff Ship, one of our fantastic supporters, who's donated a air fryer, a huge air fryer. You'll be able to cook a full roast for the family. Get on board, get to the link, buy some tickets. But to everyone out there, thank you again. We really appreciate your support. Hopefully you've taken something out of this, and if you've got any questions, don't ever hesitate to contact me. Contact me via my emails, through the office. We're always here to help out. We always want to make sure we get the best message. And at the end of the day, between you and I, we've got one goal, and that's to change government. Because if we don't change government, we don't change the policies, we're going to end up with more lockdowns and a government that wants more control of your life.